and welcome to Freelancer Showcase, hosted by Slice Creative Network and TETV. Today we're going to be talking to a fairly new Slice Creative Network member named Matthew Lish. Welcome, Matthew.
Hi, Melody. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Hi, thanks for coming on. So I'm excited to see all of your work, but first I wanted to ask, what disciplines do you work in?
So I work primarily in puppet design and fabrication and prop design and fabrication.
Okay, and where have you worked in the past?
I have worked at Walt Disney Imagineering down in Orlando on Magic Kingdom portfolio, as well as Jim Henson's Creature Shop up here in New York City on Sesame Street's 50th season and a bunch of other little Sesame Street shoots here and there, as well as projects for the Coca-Cola Company, Princess Cruise Line, and at Gerard Studios in Brooklyn, New York, building props and set decorations for shows like the National Tour of Hamilton and Mrs. Doubtfire on Broadway and Diana on Broadway.
You're a busy guy. So your current location is in New York, is that correct?
Yes, I'm in New York City.
New York City, okay. And I know that a lot of work is digital or done through the internets. But if you were offered a job somewhere else, would you be considered, or would you consider relocating?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Well, great. Let's get started. I'd love to see some of your work. Can you please pull up your portfolio?
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, walk us through this.
Cool. So this is a selection, and this is on my website that people can visit at matthewlish.com. These are a selection of some of my favorite puppets that I've worked on. A bunch actually fairly recently. So the first one we're going to go through. This is a Christmas reindeer that I recently built for someone to do virtual meet and greets during this weird pandemic times. So my emphasis with puppets is always making sure that I design a character that is approachable, that is able to make really, really good eye contact with either a camera or a web screen, or if it's live with a person or a performer, and really make it so that the character can express a wide range of emotions. So with this character here, I made sure to give it really nice big eyes so that it's really, really cute and innocent and can really, really hone in on that eye focus with something. It has a really expressive face, and you're able to turn the mouth and kind of make it have little like quirks at the corner of its faces and really, really turn its head around. When it moves, the fur shakes around, which gives it a nice kinetic movement and adds another, just another little layer of the character to it. So all of the puppets that I'm showing today are things that I have created the patterns for and built entirely myself. So this puppet here, he has a foam body, a rigid foam body, so he's able to withstand being thrown around and everything, but is still squishy enough, that he can be a puppet. He's covered with very high quality furs and hand-dyed Antron fleece. Antron fleece is the same type of fleece that's used on top of the Muppets to give them their skin-like qualities. He features removable arm rods, which makes it really good for transportation, and custom grips to fit the puppeteer's fingers, because you want to have it so that their fingers can move around pretty nicely inside the head, and either move it forward and backwards to make the mouth open and close, or just stay snug in there so they're not wobbling around. So that's one puppet. Another puppet, this is based on an already existing intellectual property. So in addition to creating new characters, I also like working with things that other people have designed. This is of course Gingy from Shrek. So this was designed for production of Shrek the Musical, or Shrek the Musical Junior, which is available through MTI for schools and churches and amateur theater groups to perform. So this is a gingerbread man puppet. Again, original patterns. This guy, he features eyebrows that move up and down. There's a little mechanism inside of the head that the puppeteer can take their finger and toggle, so they're able to get a wide range of emotions. A super flexible silicone mouth, so that you can get the smiling that you see on the left side and the frowny face you see on the top right. And then probably my favorite feature of this is he features detachable legs. So where you see those icing stitches at his knees, if you can pull off those stitches, just hook and loop straps there, and you could pull the legs off for some of the fun torture scenes with Lord Farquaad, and then they stick right back on with magnets. So the goal of this was to create something that matches what we all know and love from the film, while at the same time, making it super easy for kids and amateur theater professionals to use in that type of setting. So another great puppet. This is a little smaller than the reindeer I showed a little earlier. This was a character I was approached to do a redesign for a puppeteer down in Florida, and he gave me some initial sketches of this character and some different versions that had been built for him in the past, and basically said, I want to make the body a little rounder. I want to make the face more expressive. What can you do with that? So working from his original designs, I kind of put in my 2 cents, and together we agreed upon some changes to this initial character, and I created a whole new set of patterns, hand dyed all the fleece, hand stitched everything, gave it a rounder belly than the previous version of the character, bigger eyes than the previous version of the character, a more flexible mouth. You could see on the left side there that he has a mouth that is really, really like rubbery, that allows him to make all these cool expressions, and really help design, a new iteration of the character. So that's something I also like to do a lot, is, take something that someone has a concept for, but they want to flesh it out a little bit more, and come up with something brand new with them. So one last puppet, which I'll show you, and then we'll move on to something else quickly. So this is a giant reindeer puppet I built for a company down in Florida for their production of Frozen Junior. And what's special about this puppet is not only its size, but also it is a mechanical puppet. So instead of having the performer's hand go inside of the head to operate it like that, what it is here is it's all done with cables. So the puppet's head, being that it's a reindeer, extends out from the person's body, and they're able to, with kind of like an airplane joystick, they're able to turn the head, move it up and down, and when they pull a trigger like that, they're able to open and close the mouth. And I found that is a really, really great way to get movement out of characters where you might not be able to necessarily get your hand up inside there like you would a traditional puppet. And then two other quick things which I'd like to share. I do a lot of prop work, whether it be through replicas or original things. This right here, and I actually have it right behind me. This is a jumbo version of one of the Barrel of Monkeys toy. So this is just, I hand carved this entire thing, working off of the original plastic toy as reference, and then candy coated it with a bunch of different extremely durable epoxies. So this thing can be outside, is totally weatherproof. You can bang on it, things can bump into it, it'll be totally fine. And it's just a really, really fun, cool, lightweight piece. So I do a bunch of foam prop work like that of varying sizes. And then one of my more recent things I've been working on, this will be the last thing, is I now started to do custom signage. So here are some examples of custom signage. This is one I'm particularly proud of. I'll take companies' logos or whatever other thing they want to have a sign made of, and using a CNC router machine, I'll cut it out full size. So this one was a 16-inch round. I'll cut it out and then do a full paint treatment, full age weathering treatment, however they want it to look. So this one is for a local high school's agriculture and farming department at their school. So this one was literally going inside of a barn. So I wanted to give it kind of a rustic feel. So took their logo, cleaned up some of the line work so that the machine could cut it, using those nice fancy design drawing programs we like to use, and then cut it out on the CNC. Did some cleanups and some wood finishing, and gave it a nice stain to fit that rustic barn feel. So that's an overview of the stuff that I have been working on and the types of things that I make.
Matthew, super cool stuff. This is a lot of fun.
Thank you.
I'm enjoying your presentation so much. I wanted to ask you, what other disciplines or interests do you have that you'd like to share?
So I do really enjoy, and I have experience working in production coordination and project coordination and operations. Actually, my job when I was down at Walt Disney Imagineering was as a project coordinator intern for Magic Kingdom, and I really, really enjoy working in that component of of design, really helping making sure all of the necessary elements can come together, that we can take everything that we have on the page or in the computer and really turn it into something that guests can experience. And also, similarly, I work seasonally with Macy's Branded Entertainment, the team that puts on the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and the Macy's 4th of July Fireworks Spectacular. And there I have a similar role working on the operations team. So that's all the behind the scenes stuff that you don't see on TV for the parade, making sure that we're able to get this thing up and running. So a very similar type of thing, but more for a live one-time event than a permanent installation that we would have like in the theme park or a museum. But I'm very much into the coordination and operations behind the scenes aspect of things.
Excellent. Thank you so much. If people would like to contact you, what's the best way to do that?
So the best way for them to contact me is through my website, it's on the screen right there, www.matthewlish.com. You could find me there. My email address is matthewlish3@gmail.com, or you can just find my email or every other social media form on my website, and that's the best way to get in touch with me and see what I'm currently up to.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Matthew. It's been great having you on.
Thank you, Melody.
Thank you. Hopefully, I'll see you again soon, very soon.
Sounds good.
All right. And for those of you out there watching this, you can find Matthew and lots of other amazingly talented freelancers on slicecreativenetwork.com.